Hello everyone, and thank you for letting me share a quick overview about what gamification is and how it could be implemented in a Spanish course. Let's get started. What is gamification? There are a lot of definitions out there, but I chose the one from Professor Kevin Werbach from the University of Pennsylvania because I consider that it has the most important parts that define gamification, and it is explained in an easy and clear way. Then, quoting Professor Werbach, gamification is the use of game elements and game design techniques in non-game contexts. What does he mean by that? Well, to understand this definition, let's analyze part by part. First, let's see what the game elements are. The first and most important one is to have a mission, or a big goal as you prefer to call it. You play a game because you want to accomplish something at the end. Your mission could be to colonize another planet or to rescue a princess. Let's use this second example to continue. In order to rescue the princess, you need to face several quests during the game. For example, to kill the dragon that has the princess captive. To engage the players into the quests, the use of game elements such as points, budgets, progression bar, the interaction with other players, and the development of activities that allow the players to level up help to keep the players moving. So, these are some of the elements that a game has. Now, let's get back to our definition to remember what other components of a game we need to pay attention to. Gamification is the use of game elements that we already saw and game design techniques in non-game contexts. What does game techniques mean? There are several game techniques. I'm going to share with you some that I consider are the most important. The action in a game should take place in an epic world. To help the player interact in this epic world, he or she needs to take another personality, an avatar, to be able to move and live and breathe all along the epic world. Since it is a world different than the one the player knows, and the rules in that world are different than in real world, the player also needs some goods to be able to exchange in order to survive. During the player's trip, he or she will have to face constant challenges to gain the skills needed to overcome the necessary quests to fulfill the mission, receiving constant feedback for his or her performance. The player will be able to decide if he wants to face the challenges alone or in cooperation with other players. Also, the player will be invited to compete with other players to show the skills earned throughout the game. And the players will be watched by an evil character that will do whatever it is in his possibilities to stop the player to win the challenges. If the player fulfills the challenges, then the player will be able to win the quests that will give him power and better skills to eventually fulfill the mission that is to rescue the princess. And all these game elements and game techniques are applied in a non-game context such as a school or a course. Why use gamification in a Spanish course? Because it contributes to find the meaningful core of learning, because it makes the learning experience rewarding, it creates motivation, it is about fun, it involves voluntary participation, and it involves learning and problem solving. Now the big question, how to gamify a Spanish course? As you know, there must be a lot of work behind in which the Spanish editors, the instructional designers, gamification partners, etc. must collaborate. Therefore, what I'm presenting is just an idea on how to put together all the game elements and techniques in a gamification course. First of all, we have to create a storyline that will guide the students toward the course, which means that every single activity, assessment, and tool must be around the story. Once the student accepts the mission, the game starts. The student will receive a training through Action Reward, in which the student will be able to design his own avatar, explore the learning environment, get familiar with gamified elements and techniques, and gain the necessary skills to navigate the course. Following our storyline, the student will embark in quests, such as finding the magic dictionary that will give him the clues for the next challenges. During the trip, the student will compete with other players or collaborate with them to win the challenges, and of course, will face the evil character several times, which leads the student to failure. One important thing in a gamification environment is to give students agency. Give them the control to choose the activities that they want to do first and which ones do not want to work on. By giving agency, students will be able to learn from their choices and learn not to blame anybody for the choices that they make. If a choice leads a student to failure, students will have the opportunity to repeat the challenge several times to be able to learn from their mistakes. And learning from their mistakes will eventually lead them to success. Of course, in order for the students to be motivated to accomplish the challenge, several kind of motivators must be activated in the game, such as badges, gifts with limited access, immediate feedback, progress bars, leaderboards, points, or rewards. It is important to mention that the reward system is not as easy as it could look like. There are different kinds of rewards such as tangibles, which are the badges, or intangibles, which are titles. However, we are not going to go into an in-depth analysis of the reward system right now. I just want to mention that it requires analysis. Although students like very much to compete to show their skills, the course must enhance the collaboration and communication part. Group positive reinforcements and global socialization could be achieved through discussion boards, forums, or group activities. As mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, every tool used in the gamification environment has to be related to the storyline. The use of a cultural video just to show the culture of a country won't make much sense if it is not connected with the storyline. Finally, it is suggested that students create their own portfolio to show what they have learned throughout the course. The use of blogs, websites, and online portfolios are excellent resources for students to continue connected with the Spanish language and the technology. To end this presentation, I would like to share a video that shows how gamification is applied in a non-game context. After the video, all your questions are welcome.